إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمد عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما إخوة الإيمان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us another opportunity to gather here today, being the blessed day among the days of the week, in for the first Jum'at in the new year of the Hijri calendar, which is the third day of the holy month of Muharram, year 1445 after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to the 21st day of the month of July, year 2023. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can this our gathering as an act of worship and accept it from us as an act of ibadah. In continuation of what we started discussing last week concerning Al-Quran, we're briefly going to talk about the month of Muharram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that there are 4 months that are of most blessed months among the other months of the calendar. And one of the 4 months is this Muharram that we are inside in. The month has lots of blessings. The first 10 days also have lots of blessings. The 9th and 10th day of this holy month has lots of blessings, which is going to be equivalent to the next week, Thursday and Friday. Has lots of blessings. May the blessings of this holy month be showered upon every one of us. So whoever Allah spare his life till next week, Thursday, Friday, should endeavor to fast. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he got to Madinah, he met the Jews, the Yahudis. He met them fasting on the 10th day of Muharram. He now asked, why are you doing this? He said they are doing that in commemoration of their prophet, whom was Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also now fasted it. He now said if Allah spare his life till next year, he's going to fast the 9th day, which is the one we call Tasu'ah, and the 10th day is what? Ashura. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also encourages every one of us to fast on the 9th day and the 10th day of Muharram. May Allah spare our life till then. Qur'anic ta'ala, not to truncate what we started discussing last week, because today basically we talk about the calendar of the Hijriya. But Qur'anic ta'ala, we are going to discuss that next week so that we can round off what we are talking about in Quran temporarily. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already made known to us that Al-Quran huwa kalamullah. Al-Quran is the words or the wordings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Walaysa makhluq. Al-Quran Kareem was not created. And we told us what Imam Ibn Thakwan, what he experienced in the answer of the Mu'tazila. I keep telling us, these Mu'tazila, they are a firqa, they are a group of set of people that had different ideology about Al-Islam. Their origin originated from the people who call Khawarij. The Khawarij are those that were so bold enough to dispute that there is nothing called al-rajmu fil Islam, stoning an adulterer or an adulteress in Islam. They are the ones that said, no, there is nothing like that in Quran. So we are not going to follow whatever is not in the Quran. So the only thing they are going to follow is Al-Quran. These are the people we call Khawarij. They had a lot of issues with Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu. They finally gained strength and a well-established root during the time of whom? Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu. It is from the Khawarij that the Mu'tazila means somebody that leave you and went to a distant place. Mu'tazila, they said anything that is in the Quran but not in the Hadith, they are not going to follow. These are the Mu'tazila. After the Mu'tazila, we now have the Aqladiyun. And up to today, we still have some of them existing within our midst. May Allah guide us against their own thinking and against their own understanding. Because some of them believe in Quran, they didn't believe in Hadith. Some of them believe in Hadith, they didn't believe in Quran. So this Mu'tazila, they existed during the time of Imam Ahmad Ibn Hanbal Al-Shaybani. They forced Imam Hanbal to say or to mention that Al-Qur'anic Kareem huwa makhluk, that Al-Qur'anic Kareem was created. And Imam Muhammad ibn Hanbal insisted that no, Qur'an huwa kalamullah, the Qur'an that we are all reading as our own holy scripture is the words of Allah, is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not a creator, the way me and you, we were created. It is this Quran that we are talking about. We told us what Quran is last week. We've mentioned to us some of the blessings of Quran. We've mentioned to us some of the names that Quran is bearing. In continuation with what we discussed last, was that the Quran al-Kareem was preserved by the Khulafa al-Rashidun. And the first person that preserved the Quran was whom? Abu Bakr, Abdullah ibn Quhafa, radiallahu anhu. We mentioned to us how Imam Al-Quran came on board when the Kuffars of the Muslimun, they went for the Ghazwat al-Yamama. They fought to fight Musaylima al-Kazzab, who was proclaiming to be a what? A prophet. So, like 70 of the Kuffars, they died on that battle. And when they now came back, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala now told the Amir al-Mu'minin then, who was Abu Bakr, that, oh, our Khalifa, let's put Quran and Kareem together before all the Kuffars will be killed. At the end of the day, after front and back, at the end of the day, Abu Bakr succumbed as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whispered into his heart. And they called Hassan ibn Sabit, Ubay ibn Ka'b, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Mu'adh ibn Jabal. They called them as a group of people to form a committee to put the Quran together. And they finally put the Quran together. And after delivering the Quran, the compiled Quran to Abu Bakr, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, being headed by Hassan ibn Sabit. But during the time of compilation, there was a particular verse in the Holy Quran that they find it very difficult to locate where the verse was. They gather everything together, but there was a particular verse in the Holy Quran that they couldn't find the person that memorized it. At the end of the day, the particular Sahabi that located the person that knows that verse was called Khuzaimah ibn Sabit. Khuzaimah ibn Sabit. He was the one that knows that particular ayah to make the whole Quran to be complete. And the Quran, the verse is in Quran chapter 33, verse 23, Surah Al-Ahzab. And what is the verse? Allah said, Minal mu'minina rijalun. Bana a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. There are some among the believers, Sadaku ma'ahadullah alayhi. They believe in the promises that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made unto them. They believe the message of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the message that Allah has used to send Prophet Muhammad on an errand. They believe in that message. فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ قَدَى نَحْبَهُ. Among them, they submitted all what had been loving to them to the whims and caprices of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَنْتَزِرُ. And among them, those that were claiming that they were believers, مَنْ يَنْتَزِرُ. Among them, there are some that we have supported from where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we supported them in whatever they are doing. وَمَا بَدَلُوا تَبْدِيلًا. And this that we have established, nobody can change it. So among the believers, we have those that all what they had, they submitted it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They submitted their property, they submitted their wife, they submitted their children, they submitted all the resources we gave to them, and they also submitted their life. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَنْتَظِرُ. And there are some among them that they were supported by we Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are some that among them, they claim to be believers, but they were not believers. وَمَا بَدَلُوا تَبْدِيلًا. What we Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decree, no one can change it. And no one will be able to change it. This was the verse that they found very difficult to locate the person that memorized this verse. By the end of the day, Hishaam Ibn Thakwan was located. And they compiled everything together. And they now handed it over as Mus'haf to Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And at the towards the point of death of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he transferred the literature, the Mus'haf, he transferred it to whom? To Umar ibn Khattab. Umar ibn Khattab was the custodian of that Qur'an then. But as we all know, at the tail end of his life, he was assassinated. He was murdered by Abdurrahman ibn Muljim with a poisoned dagger. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu now transferred this Quran that was compiled during the Khilafah of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. He transferred it to his daughter, who was among the Ummatul Mu'minin, Hafsa bint Abu Bakr bint Umar bint Khattab. After the demise of Umar ibn Khattab, Usman ibn Affan became the successor. He became the Khalifa, Amirul Mu'minin. They now went for another battle. But on the battle, when the Muhajirun and the Ansar and other Arab brothers were reciting Quran, they were reciting the Quran with different Qira'ats. And that was what led us to what we mean by Qira'at. What is Qira'at? Al-Qira'at is the recitation that was recited from the Sab'atu Ahruf. Al-Quran al-Karim was revealed unto Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the intonation of the Quraysh. We have seven clans within the Arab tribes. The first one among them was Quraysh, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam originated from. The second clan of the Arab is the one we call Hudayl. The third one is Tamim. The fourth one is Hawazin. The fifth one is Saqif. And the sixth one is Kinana. And the seventh tribe of the Arab are the people from Yemen. So when the Quran was revealed unto Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was revealed with one pronunciation. By the end of the day, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam solicited from his master, his teacher, Angel Gabriel, Malaikatul Jibril, that please, can you give me other pronunciations And he recited to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam 7 pronunciations, and that is what we call Sabwatu Ahruf. It is from this Sabwatu Ahruf, this pronunciation, that we now have different Qira'at. And the Qira'at is the way we are going to be reciting the Quran. Originally, we have 7 Qari of 7 Qur'an. Those that are the Quranic reciters, right from the inception, they used to be 7. By the end of the day, they became 10. And those 10, as I mentioned to us last week, that those 10 are the widely recognized reciters of the Holy Quran. But each one of them also has two students under them. That invariably, as of today, the 10 Quranic reciters, we hardly hear of their name, if not that of their students. Indicating that now we have like 20 reciters that we are following their recitations. Number 1 out of them is what we call Imam Naafi Al-Madanee. And you see, this Qur'an, these reciters, the least among them towards the existence of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is more than 100 years. So Quran is also a riwayah that has isnad. The way hadith was revealed unto Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the way hadith had his riwayah and hadith has his isnad. So also Al-Quran al-Karim has riwayat and it has asanid. So the first Quranic reciter, it might not be in chronological order, but one among them is what we call Imam Naafi Al-Madanee. He's from Madinah, and he also has 2 students under him. That today, it is the name of those students that we are hearing. And one of the students is what we call Qaloon, and the second one is what we call Warsh. So these 2 students are the students of Imam Naafi Al-Madanee. So if they are doing Quranic recitation musabaka, they can ask, from which ayyu qira'atun taqra? From which of the Quranic reciter do you want to recite? So they will now say Warsh and Naafi Al-Madanee. And there are some of them that they did not even directly learn from the 7 or from the 10 Qur'an. But today, the names of the people in between them and their master, nobody is sharing the name any longer. The second reciter is Imam Abdullah Ibn Kathir Al-Makee. This Ibn Kathir is not the one that has the tafsir that we are reading today. He was also a reciter, and he's from Makkah. And his own student is the one we call Al-Buzzee and Qumbul. The second one is Qumbul. These 2, Buzzee and Qumbul, they are the students of Imam Abdullah Ibn Kathir Al-Makee. We are doing their recitation today. Number 3 among the 10 Qur'an, among the reciters, is Imam Ibn Amr Basri Al-Basri. Is this Imam Ibn Amr? Abu Amr Al-Basri is from Basra. His own students are Imam Al-Doori and Imam Al-Soosee. These 2 Doori and Soosee, they learn their own way of reading from Imam Abu Amr Al-Basri. The 4th Imam among the reciters in the Qira'at that we are reciting today is Imam Ibn Aamir Al-Shami. He is from Sham. And his own student is Hishaam and Ibn Thakwan. All these people, the least among them to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is over 100 years. The fifth Imam is Imam Hashim Al-Kufi. This one is from Kufa. And the son student is Shuba and Hafs. Shuba and Hafs. And the type of Qira'at that we are reciting in this our own place is Qira'at Hafs and Asim. If you go to Senegal now, their own recitation might not be our own recitation here. So any recitation that is not outside the context of these 10 Qur'an, these reciters, they are all welcome. As far as the conditions of the recitation are in accordance with what the Tajweed has taught us. The sixth Imam among the reciters that are well established that we must follow is Imam Hamza Al-Zaiya Al-Kufi. He's also from Kufa. His own students were Khallaad and Khallaad. The seventh Imam is Imam Al-Kisaa'ee Al-Kufi. His own students were Imam Al-Layth and Imam Ad-Doori. The eighth Imam is Imam Abu Ja'far Al-Madanee. His own student was Hishaam ibn Thakwan and Sulaiman ibn Jumas. The ninth Imam is Imam Yaqub Al-Adrami Al-Basri. And his own student was Ruwats and Ruwats ibn Abdullah. The tenth Imam among the Imams that we are reciting their Qur'an is Imam Khalaf ibn Hishaam al-Baghdadi. His own students was Ishaq ibn Ibrahim al-Waraq and Idris ibn Abdul Karim al-Adad. These are all the Quranic reciters. The first 10 that we have are the major reciters that will follow their recitation, and their students. Each one of them has two students that has a link to them. So, Al-Qur'anic Qura'as, as we said, it was compiled after the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam during his time had already told them how it will be placed in collaboration with the Sahabas. Because when they asked Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, asked Usman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala anhu that why is it that Surah Al-Anfal and Surah Al-Tawbah, what is the difference between Surah Al-Anfal and Surah Al-Tawbah? Surah Al-Anfal was talking about Ghazwatul Badr, which was the first battle that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fought in Makkah and in Madinah. Immediately he got to Madinah. And Surah Al-Tawbah was talking about Ghazwatul Tabuk that he fought so many years after Ghazwatul Badr. Why was it that Surah Al-Anfal is having Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and Surah Al-Tawbah was not having Surah Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? What is the reason behind that? Abdullah ibn Abbas asked Usman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala during the time that they were putting together or compiling the Qur'an al-Karim. Usman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala replied Abdullah ibn Abbas that was how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to arrange it. And that was how it was arranged. Why Surah Al-Tawbah doesn't have Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? Who is going to challenge the authority of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So we have these reciters with different recitations based on the Ahkam al-Tajweed, and some of these recitations must be in conformity with what we call Nahaw. And it must be in conformity with Al-Ihtimal. And it must be in conformity with Wahyu. I told us last week that there are 4 steps in the recitation of Al-Quran al-Karim, from the reciter to the last end reciter. The person that is reciting that we are following his recitation is the Qari who does the Qira'at. The students, as I mentioned to us, like Imam Naafi, Al-Madanee, his own students, as we know, are Qaloon and Warsh. These two students that learn from him are the one we call Rawi, because they collect the riwayah from the Qira'at. And from there, how they will now disseminate it, their own path that they want to follow. They have followed they have mastered it from their own master, they have learned it from their own master. Now, what they have learned, how did they want to propel it into the society is what we call Tariq. The path which they want to give to the world. So from the Tariq that will now come to every end user is what we call Wadu. So from the Qari to Wadu, all the conditions of the blessed recitation of the Holy Quran must be completed. So Usman ibn Affan, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he allowed the compilation of this Quran. And after the compilation, as I told us last week, it was Huzaifa ibn Yamani that came back and told him that, oh master, we need to do something very fast. Because of the pronouncement or because of the pronunciation of our Muslim brothers, that almost led to a fracas in between the Muslims while we were on the Azerbaijan plain. And they put the Quran together, and Usman ibn Affan said 5 copies should be produced. And they now send it to Bahrain, they send it to Turkey, they send it to Sham, they send it to Syria, they send it to Damascus. That all the other existing scriptures, all the other existing Quran that was produced during the time of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala should be wiped up of the surface of the earth. And that was what led to burning of those scriptures. Burning of those scriptures, in case you have been encountered with a question that why did Usman ibn Affan burn Quran? And that was the reason why. Because they withdrew all that so that we can have a unified copy which will be compiled in the essence of the Quraysh, because it was revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the Arab of the Quraysh, with the Arabic accent of the Quraysh. So Usman ibn Affan told Hassan ibn Thabit, who was still alive then, that whatever you are going to compile together, there must be a uniformity between you and your other colleagues that want to put this Quran together, and you put it together with the intonation of the Quraysh. And that was what led to the Rasmu of Usmani that we're having till today. So every other accent, every other intonation was abolished. So there wouldn't be a distinguish or a difference in the pronunciation of the Quran, apart from that one that was compiled with the intonation and with the accent of the word of the Quraysh. Because it was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was from the Quraysh. I've mentioned the 7 clans of the Arabs that we have. I've mentioned to us. But the first one was the Quraysh. So Quran must be compiled with that. Now, Al-Quran Karim was compiled. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that whenever we are in difficulty, we should stand up. إذا كنت في أمن وغم وغربة فاقرأ كتاب الله تنجو من الغم. That was how Al-Quran came to be. Now, if we are in any difficulty, we are told that we should raise up. فاقرأ كتاب الله تنجو من الغم. We should read the Quran, because the Quran is going to overwhelm all the difficulty that we are facing. Even the challenges that you didn't know that are coming to your way, Al-Quran will fight those challenges for you. But brothers, me and you today, let's be sincere with ourselves. How many of us believe in the Quran? That what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had passed on to us, because before his demise, he told us تَرَكْتُ لَكُمْ أَمْرَيْنِ. As far as we are on that path, and which is the path? The path that I'm dropping two things for you. Whoever sticks to those two things will never go astray and will never be frustrated. لَن تَضِلُّوا إِذَا أَمْسَكْتُمْ. Whenever you hold on to those things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forsake you. And what are the things? Kitabullah wa sunnati Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Holy Scripture of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the path that me I have told. But before that, he said, Naafi was solid. These two things are going to live for you. One will be talking and the other one will be keeping quiet. Every time one will be talking and the other one will be keeping quiet. Now see, the one that will be talking, فَهُوَ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ وَسُنَّةِ النَّبِي صلى الله عليه وسلم. It's going to be the Qur'an. The Qur'an will be telling you, أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ. Qur'an will be reawakening us that can't you think? See how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did with Ashabul Hud. See Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed the people of Nuh. See how Allah destroyed Pharaoh. Qur'an will be telling you so that you misbehave like them, so that Allah will not destroy you. What? Nothing. It will be talking every time. And the one that will be keeping quiet for Al-Mayyit is going to be the corpse that you are going to lay down in front of you. Because the corpse cannot talk any longer. Any dead body cannot talk. But it's going to be passing a message to you that as you are standing in front of me today, you are also going to come into this kind of state one very day. So all these two things, they will be telling us about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, telling us about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, telling us about Yawm al-Qiyamah. If we are ready to listen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let us be among those that will listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow the path of Nabiyyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is Al-Quran caring for us. And this is how Al-Quran was compiled. This is how Al-Quran was preserved. And it has been preserved since that time till date. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, me Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will not allow any evil hand, any evil mind, any nefarious people to have power over Al-Quran Kareem. And already Allah said, Innahu la-Qur'anul Kareem fi kitabin maknun la yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun tanzilun min hakimil hamid. Allah said, me, Allah, I'm the one that will be protecting this Quran. And whoever is not pure should not carry the Quran, because the Quran was revealed at tanzil from me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Quran is not something you can just take with levity hand. Hishaam and Ibn Thakwan, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he was called upon for this assignment, he ran away. He said, I didn't think it is a mountain that they want to place on his head. He will be very happy to carry the mountain than the work of compiling Quran that they have given to him. So every one of us, we should know how magnanimous and the don'ts and the do's that are inside of the Quranic Kareem. We should stay with them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every one of us and grant us the blessings of Al-Quranic Kareem. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this beautiful opportunity He has given us. Now, Al-Qur'anic Kareem, I've explained to us how it was revealed unto Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam last week extensively. The first revelation, the second revelation, I explained everything to us. May Allah let it be a hujjah for us and not a hujjah against us. Now, the processes that the Quran was used to be revealed unto Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the stages And that is what will lead us to that is what is going to lead us to what is al-wahyu. What is inspiration? Is it everybody that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can inspire? Those that Allah had inspired, who are they? Because you have a lot of misconceptions that whomever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had inspired unto, that person is a prophet. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Angel Gabriel to Maryam, the mother of Nabi Isa alayhi salamullah. Does that qualify her as a prophetess? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Angel Gabriel to the mother of Nabi Musa alayhi salamullah. Right? Does that qualify her as a prophet? Our own story is in Surah Al-Taha. That of Maryam is in Surah Maryam. And so others. Allah sent angel to the bees. An-Nahl, inna arsalna ila Nuh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent angel to the bees. Does that qualify the bee as the prophet as well? The stages of inspiration to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to inspire. Number one, what we mean by al-wahyu, ta'rif, is al-wahyu. What we mean by inspiration is the communication mode or the communication route that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses to communicate to his prophets. And there is no any other person Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to inspire other than the prophets. Every other people, theirs are not what? Are not inspiration. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to inspire to his prophet through dreams. That is number one. And any dream that a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dream will definitely come to what? Come to pass. Because the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with the prophets. They are ma'azumun. They are those that have divine protection. They have divine immunity. A shaitan can never have anything to do with them. So whatever that they dreamt about will surely come to pass. And there is no dream that they will dream if not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to receive his revelation at times through what? Through dreams. We are talking about the stages of the revelation of Qur'an to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So also some righteous servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah can give them the opportunity or whispering opportunity to whisper unto them that so thing will happen. Don't go on this journey. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give that to his karama and to his awliya. But the prophet, they need to have wahyu. And that is number one, through dreams. Number two is the ilham. Ilham is to whisper. Is to whisper. I might want to talk now and just come closer to your ear and say something to your ear that I don't want the next person to hear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wished to whisper into people's ear. And that was what was done to whom? To Sayyidatuna Maryam. And that was what was done to the mother of Nabi Musa alayhi salamullah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do that for any one of us. إِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى أَن يُوَلِّيَ عَبْدَهُ فَتَحَ عَلَيْهِ بَابَ ذِكْرِهِ. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to get closer to him, the best thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give, the opportunity is going to give you, is for you to be remembering him every time. And when you keep remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you get closer to the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you are knocking on the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, man daqal baba walaja walaja. When you are knocking on the door, you will get to a time that when you are knocking continuously, the door will be open for you. So as you are remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, times without that number, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will draw you closer to himself. You now become a friend of Allah. Anything you hold, Allah will be holding it. Your hand will turn to the hand of Allah. But the hand of Allah is not like this our own. Anything you see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be in your side. You will see it. If they put poison inside your food, you will see, you won't eat that food. If you are within your enemies, where you want to sit, they place something evil on it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not allow you to sit there, not talk of their evil plot to afflict you. It's an authentic hadith in Sahih Bukhari that I will turn to your hand, I will turn to your eye, I will turn to your leg. Wherever you are going, you won't go to any place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cause you. You always go to the right place. You go to the masjid, you go to ta'limat, you go to halakat. Everywhere they are doing that of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is where your leg will be carrying you to. And at times you will be talking, people will be seeing you are like a person that is seeing vision. It's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you an infinitesimal opportunity just to whisper into you. And that is what we call ilham. So Allah can give anybody ilham. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said this is the second stage of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to communicate to his righteous servants. Number 3 is for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to see the angel in front of him. And the angel will not come in his physical creation, but is an angel. Precisely, Angel Gabriel, at times, he used to go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the form of a Sahabi we call Ad-Doori Al-Qumbul. That Ad-Doori Al-Qumbul was the most handsome man in Madinah. Then, among the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, Angel Gabriel at times used to take the image, it will transform into the physical appearance of Ad-Doori Al-Qumbul and go and deliver the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to whom? To Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those of us that will go to elementary Arabic, Islamiyya, Al-Makee, there is 140 hadith in Nawawi. The hadith 4 mentioned to us that there was a very day Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting with his companions. So also a messenger now come, a villager now came. Asha Ajubaba. A messenger now came. Fayada Rukbate ala Rukbate Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In answer to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was now talking to Rasulullah. After he left, the companion asked, Rasul, who is this? Who was that message? Who was that your friend that came? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was Angel Gabriel, who was Malaika to Jibril. So, lots of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they also saw angel, but not in their original form. So, Angel Gabriel used to go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in form of Ad-Doori Al-Qumbul. There was a day Sayyidatuna Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha asked Prophet Muhammad, what did Daiya came to do? I've been seeing him often. What did he come and do? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now told Sayyidatuna Aisha that no, that wasn't Daiya to Al-Qumbul. Azawwa Jibril. So the third stage or the third form in which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to receive the revelation or information from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is through the transformation of Angel Gabriel into the image of whom? The Ad-Doori Al-Qumbul. Number 4 is another form that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will go into a state that we call trance. That he wouldn't know what is happening around him. Sayyidatuna Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said, there are some times in the cold weather, that the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. You will see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sweating profusely. And around him, every know what he's doing. The English people call it trance. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already told him that Inna sanuliki alayka qawlan sakila. We are going to be revealing unto you the words that are very heavy. So Al-Qur'anic Kareem is not something we need to carry with levity hand. There is one Sahabi that said Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting on his lap like this. And when the revelation came, the Sahaba said, I am feeling as if my two thighs have crumbled. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not somebody that has weight. But because of the heaviness of the revelation that was being revealed unto him, the weight was also transferred onto the thigh of that person that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting on his lap. That is one. Number two, when Surah Al-Ma'idah was revealed unto Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasul was on his camel. And as the revelation of Surah Al-Ma'idah was being revealed unto him, the camel had to baraka. The camel had to go down immediately because it has had an imported load, additional imported load on it. So this is the third stage that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is the fourth stage that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to use to receive revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fifth one is that message can come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in his hearing, he'll be hearing as if a bell is being rung. Al-Jarasa is what we call bell. Those kind of bell they used to ring for us while we were in primary school. Golong. So if message is coming at times, that is the sign that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be feeling in him. Definitely we know that another revelation is coming. Number 6 is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to talk to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam behind a veil, that there is going to be a barrier between Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that veil is when he went to Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. He got there when he went to collect the salawat that we are observing now. That veil is to send Angel Gabriel to him, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to talk to him directly, and that is Hadisi Al-Qudsi. He won't see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there won't be Angel Gabriel. There wouldn't be any wasita, no any intermediary between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will talk to him directly, but behind the veil. Number 7 is the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked directly with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he went for Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. Majority of us know how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sojourned from this earth to Sidratul Muntaha. Angel Gabriel got to the 7th heaven. He now told him that this is my boundary. I can't go beyond this. فَكَانَ قَوْبَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى. Surah Al-Najm. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he proceeded on that journey, a place that he has never gotten to. Nobody has ever stepped there. Even Angel Gabriel, he said, if I step beyond this boundary limit, it's today Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise me out of the angels. So go. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that asked me to come and pick you from the earth and brought you to this place. That Allah that has assigned me the assignment, I have completed my own assignment. He will guide you to where you are going to meet him. Nobody can guide us if there is no any guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam traveled, and he got to a place that he never knew. Maybe it was morning, it was afternoon, it was evening. There is a riwayah that said that was how At-Tahiyyatu Lillah, Azakiyatu Lillah started. That he had a voice, Keep Ya Muhammad. Inna rabbaka yusalli alayk. And we already know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself used to praise Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not praising him, he wouldn't say inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Allah said me, inna there is alfu tawkid. That me Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa malaikat and me and my angel yusalluna ala nabi. That we used to shower our praises upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, it was important that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got there, he said, "Keep ya Muhammad, inna rabbaka yusalli alayk." And that was when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now stopped. So at that point, he now said, "At-tahiyyatu lillah." All praises, all greetings belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Az-zakiyatu lillah. All things that are pure belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At-tayyibatu wa salawatu ala Allah. All the praises and adoration belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They now said, Allah now said, At-tayyibatu wa salawatu alayka. Right. At-tayyatu lillah, az-zakiyatu lillah, at-tayyibatu salawatu. Assalamu alayka. That's where I'm going. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now said, "Oh Muhammad, you have praised us. You have gone into this place. Assalamu alayka. May the peace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be on you." That was the first conversation between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at Sidratul Muntaha. That nobody has ever gotten there. So that was another opportunity for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to speak directly with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the seventh stage of the wahy. But what I want us to understand here now is those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent wahy to are his prophets. I want us to know the difference between inspiration and whispering. Al-wahyu wa ilham. So the other prophets or the other people that they are calling prophets that are not prophets, like Sayyidatuna Maryam, there are a lot of jidal, ikhtilaf on this one. Was Maryam and Musa, were they prophet or not? They were not prophets because we don't have female prophets. We don't have prophetess. The only thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did for them was what? He gave them ilham. He whispered unto them. That was what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did for them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless every one of us. So this is wahyu and this is ilham. Now, Al-Quran al-Karim, from the effort of some of our scholars, they said there are 10 people that if they are conversant with Quran, even if they die, they will not decay. Their body will not decay inside the grave. It's not Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that said it. It is the effort of some of our scholars that these 10 categories of people, when they die, because they are Ahlul Quran, and you know I told us last week that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in an authentic hadith that I read for all, that Inna lillahi aluna fil ard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has family on the earth. They now ask Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Waman alullah, who are the family of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered, Alullahi fil ard, huwa alul Qur'ani wa khasatuhu. Those that are conversant with reading Quran, following the dictates of Quran, they are the family of Allah and the khasa, and they are the most chosen people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose from all his creation. They want to ask a Waliullah, one of the saints, in the Qur'an Madinah, that, oh, we have been asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no rain. We have been asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy on us. The saint now told them that, yes, you are reading Quran. You are doing a lot of things with Quran. But the right of Quran, you people refuse to give the Quran. What are the right of Quran? To believe in Quran, to stand by Quran, to not let Quran down. Tell me, my brothers, who among our people today that has attained the stage, the level he has attained in this life, that I never run to one man and that, please supplicate for me. To the extent that they put some of them in the midst of the students that will recite the Quran, they will ask him to hold Quran on the set like this, be saying everything that you want. But whenever they get whatever they want finished, they will turn back to where they have used Quran to supplicate for them. This is what the Shaykh said, that love to all the help of Quran, the right that was supposed to be given to the Quran, they are denying Quran. Let's take another example. Look at our students, our brothers, our sisters that are kuffars, that are memorizing Quran. What are they benefiting? After acquiring the knowledge of the memorization, where are they having opportunity to teach? Most of our Amiduna Alaya, those that are working on the people that are learning Quran, how is their life? How is their life looks like? Who wants to take them as role model in terms of material? We are not saying some of our imams, they are misleading us in prayer. Yes, they will mislead us, they will mislead us, because the imam that is praying, pray all the Ash-Shami for you, pray all the Tarawih for you. He's praying from one year to another year, praying everything for you. The imam cannot afford to pay 3,000 for his children going to school. We are not saying the imam is misleading us in prayer. Yes, he's going to continue to be misleading us because the imam just wants to lead the prayer and go to his farm. Because if he doesn't go to farm, he has nothing to provide for himself and for his family. Man ja'alahu amamahu shakahu ila jannah wa man ja'alahu wara'ahu shakahu ila nar. Whoever plays Quran in front of him or her, it is that Al-Quran that will propel him like a cat, C-A-R-T, that will lead him to Al-Jannah. Wa man ja'alahu wara'ahu. Whoever says Quran has nothing to do with me, shakahu ila nar, he will find himself inside hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't let us be among these categories of people. Let us be among the people that Al-Quran is going to be proud of in this world, in our grave, and in the hereafter. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Wa asharatun la tabla ajsaduhum minhum wa man mata yawm al-qiyamah wa yawm al-jum'ah. They said 10 categories of people that whenever they die, their body will not get decayed inside the grave. Among them is man mata yawm al-qiyamah, the person that died on the day of Jumat like this. All these conditions will be attached to if you are righteous. If you are not righteous, even if you die in front of Kaaba, Allah will not forgive you. So the place we die does not justify us entering Al-Jannah. It is your acts, the work you are doing, your muamalat with other people, your belief in Quran, that is what can let you gain the paradise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among the people that this scholar said that their body will not get decayed, Al-Ghazi, a warrior, a fighter that is fighting in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like them Hamza, like them Musa ibn Umair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us opportunity to go for Hajj and Umrah. When you go to Madinah, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever visits Makkah and did never refuse to visit Madinah, you should tell that person that is a gullible person, he's a fool. Even if you are on a business trip to Makkah, when you get to Makkah, find your way to Madinah, and when you go to Madinah, go for ziyarah. You go and visit where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fight some of the battles, precisely that of Uhud. They will take you there and some other places. Masjid Qiblatain is there. Jabal Ruma is there. They will take you to Quba. Masjid Quba, the first mosque that was built on the earth's surface, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam built. They will take you there. So, we are talking about the Ghazi, the warriors, that their body will not be decayed. The one we can testify to is that of Hamza bin Abi Talib, the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when you go to Medina and they take you out for ziyarah, they will take you to where the battle of Uhud was fought. The first battle was what? Ghazwatul Badr. The second one was Ghazwatul Uhud. Where battle of Uhud was fought, they will take you there. And you will see a fenced area All the people that died as martyrs, that is where they buried them. And the Jabal Ruma, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the 40 archers to stand, you will see the Jabal there, you see the mountain there. Before Khalid ibn Walid now followed the path to go attack Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Where they followed to go and injure Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you see it there. It's there till today. Not that it's not in the, it's there till today. So some of these Shuhada in Ghazwatul Uhud that are there, Hamza, Musa ibn Umayr, and other ones like that. When there was a flow of a particular canal called Zubaydah. Zubaydah was the wife of Harun al-Rashid, one of the Khalifa of Muslimun that I talked about. Khalifa of this Muslimun, Harun al-Rashid, existed during the time of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. So his wife was one called Zubaydah. So that particular canal was named after her. So when the canal was overflowing with flood of water, it now got closer to the graves of these martyrs of Uhud, to the extent that it started exposing some of the corpses. So it was a consensus between the Muslim authority then that they should relocate all the Shuhada of Uhud. And when they were relocating them, they met Hamza fresh. They met Musa ibn Umayr fresh. And they met some of the Sahaba that they were stabbed in the chest and the blood was still fresh after so many decades. Indicating that sincerely there are some people that their body will not get decayed. Number one of them are the Anbiyaullah, the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we went to where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is now, and we have opportunity of exposing his grave, we are going to meet him the way he was buried. If you don't want to believe that one, Nabiuna Musa, Nabiuna Yusuf alayhi salamullah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him on an errand, Nabiuna Musa alayhi salamullah, Allah sent him on an errand that Yusuf, Nabiuna Yusuf, he should go and exhume his corpse and relocate it to another place, because River Nile, that's the river that you to see on the map. That River Nile, close to it is where Nabiuna Yusuf grave was. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now instructed Nabiuna Musa alayhi salamullah that go there and go and exhume the corpse and bury it in another place. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that sent Nabiuna Musa alayhi salamullah, he knows that he can tell Nabiuna Musa that go to this particular place and go and locate the place. Now, because of technological advancements now, if I want to know a particular place in Maiduguri now, if I want to know like Sambisa Forest, the only thing I need from here now is just coordinates. I just need coordinates that I can use with my phone to locate Sambisa Forest from here. And I'll be seeing it directly on map. Allah did not give Nabiuna Musa any coordinate. He said, go and locate it. And the only person that knows where the grave of Nabiuna Yusuf was a woman, a Katheer that did not believe in Allah. Her name was Maryam bint Namus. On getting to her, Nabiuna Musa asked, I'm trying to locate so thing. And so, I don't know where it is. The woman said, yes, I know, but on one condition. I will take you there. But before I take you there, we must have a covenant. You tell your Lord Allah that sent you that you must grant me Al-Jannah. You must have never prayed. I just want to enter Al-Jannah like that. Musa said this tax is beyond me. I can't even comprehend, not to talk of giving you a verdict. Nabiuna Musa, and you used to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on Turi Sina. He went back to go and tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Turi Sina, where I used to talk to Allah, is still in Egypt today. Part of the fragmented part of the rock is part of what they use as the foundation of Kaaba today. The foundation of Kaaba was built with 5 different rocks. This existing Kaaba. The word that you are seeing is what keeps changing. The foundation was the foundation right from Nabiuna Ibrahim alayhi salamullah. And the rocks they used, they were not cemented. It wasn't a rock foundation, it wasn't a pipe foundation, it wasn't any type of foundation in engineering. It was just with kun fayakun of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the foundation, the rocks are separated. The way you interlock your interlocking blocks, they were separated. No any cement was used to join them. I've mentioned all this last year that we were talking about Kaaba. So on that same rock that Nabi Musa alayhi salamullah used to go and used to communicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he went back there that Allah, you are giving me a difficult task. Ọba rẹ̀ ní iṣẹ́ odò ọba kún, iṣẹ́ ọba ni kò ṣe mọ̀ jẹ́, odò ọba ni kò ṣe mọ̀ rọlù. Allah, the load you have placed on me on this task is much. This is what this woman said. Allah said, yes, I know. It's because I want to be pleased with her. That is why I sent you to her. Somebody that has never prayed. Never prayed. I told us about Waraka bin Nawfal. The one that Khadija ran to. He never prayed. And when they asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the state of Waraka bin Nawfal, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I saw him at Jannah wearing a white garment. And he never prayed. But he said, if the prophet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet him in this world, he's going to submit himself. He was the one that told Rasul that they are going to send you out from Makkah. He never prayed and he entered Jannah. I mentioned like 3 people's names too when we discussed about Ghazwatul Uhud. One of them never prayed. He became a Muslim after Salatul Subi. Before Salatul Zuhr, they have killed him. And Allah said, let him enter Jannah because of the state of Iman. So we that we are praying here, our prayer does not guarantee Al-Jannah. What we are going to do that will grant us Al-Jannah is what we should be asking Allah to let us come across it. Your Ramadan, as Allah told you that He has accepted, those of you that are going to Hajj every year, Allah said it's only one. That one that you first did Allah said He granted for you. That is why you should not ridicule anybody, you should not look down upon anybody. Whatever you can do that is good, do it at the right time. Because tomorrow you might be too late. Nabi Musa alayhi salamullah came back to the woman and said, yes, my Lord said He's going to have mercy on you. That was when the woman now went to do what? To show Nabi Musa alayhi salamullah where the grave of Nabi Yusuf was. He now relocated it. And he made him fresh. So there are some people that their body will not what? Will never get decay. But in this our own area too, we used to see a lot. Maybe when construction workers are working, as soon as they put their dozer or their this thing, we just bring out fresh something. It doesn't mean that that person is a righteous person. It might be the organic substances inside that strata of the soil. There are some soil that whatever is inside it will never change color. If you have a geotechnical engineers here, if you hold the soil like this for centuries upon centuries, it will never change texture, it will never change pattern, all the grains inside it will never change. No matter the application of chemical that you put inside it will never change. So also, you might see somebody, maybe your grandmother or your great grandfather, that after 200 years, maybe construction workers are just doing construction, unfortunately, they didn't even know that there is a grave there. Doesn't qualify that person that person is a righteous person. Because that person wasn't among the people that they said he's going to be among the people that will not decay. One will gazi, that's number 2. Number 3, wa'alimun, and a scholar that is using his knowledge on the righteous part of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One mu'adzinun, and the person that has to call to prayer. And mu'adzin, on the day of Qiyamah, they said his body will not decay. You know, I'm telling us that this is just an effort of a scholar. It wasn't Prophet Muhammad that said it. It's just a poet. This thing that I'm reciting is a poem. But it's an effort telling us that we should do some of these kind of goods. That is the lesson we can learn from this. Those of you that you don't know how to call to prayer, it's better you go and start learning it and be struggling in the mosque. That is what we are asked to struggle for. Don't struggle for imam. Don't struggle for imamship. Struggle for ladani, muaddin. The person that will be calling people to prayer and the person that will be doing ikama. You see, anybody calling to prayer, wherever your voice reaches, on the day of Qiyamah, everybody that hear your voice, they come and testify for you on the day of Qiyamah. So it is muaddin that we should struggle for to be inside the mosque, not the imam, not the chairman of the masallachi, chairman of the committee. Struggle to become the image, the muazzin. They are looking for somebody to call to prayer. Go there and go and call immediately. As far as you know that it is time. When they begin, and the prophet, we have said this, the prophet, their body will not decay. Washa'id, and the martyrs that died on the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all these Boko Haram, they are not martyrs. So majority of them, they kill them and they die. And the Nigerian Air Force are bombarding them very well now. They are going to hellfire. Because what they are fighting for is not for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not for the cause. If before you go and invade or attack people, you send an emissary. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before he invaded the Banu Qurayza, the Jews of Qurayza that sent away, they wanted to kill him. He sent Muhammad ibn Maslama. Muhammad ibn Maslama accepted Islam from Musa ibn Umair in Madinah. Muhammad ibn Maslama used to be their friend during the Jahiliyyah period before emancipation of Islam in Madinah. So the person that knows them was the person Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent to. Now go and help me tell them that in the next 10 days they should vacate Madinah. Banu Qurayza. We have 3 categories of Jews in Madinah. I've mentioned all this before. Banu Qurayza, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to them, he was sitting in front of their fortress like this. Some of them now connect that, let's go up, let's go and throw a big stone, a boulder, on his head, let's kill him. This is an opportunity for us. Immediately, Allah sent a Gabriel to him that Muhammad, in the next microseconds, leave that place. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left that place without even telling them Abu Bakr that followed him there. So when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got to Medina, back, these people now came around, the companions. They now asked, why did you do that? He said, they wanted to kill me, and Allah sent a Gabriel to me that I should leave. He now said Muhammad ibn Maslama to them that Muhammad ibn Maslama, go and tell them I'm giving them 10 days. They accepted. After some time, they rejected again that no, whatever Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam want to do, he should come and do. But what was the first thing he did? He sent an emissary to them. So all these ones that are attacking people, raping people, they will rape women and shout Allahu Akbar. They will go and put fire on people's farm, they will say Allahu Akbar. They will steal people's things, they will say Allahu Akbar. Where did we got this one from? So if you are opportune to kill any one of them, it is you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward as far as he wants to kill you. But they, if they are killed, they are not going to any Al-Jannah. So they are not shuhada. They are not martyrs. Aamir Qur'an. And those that are working on the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on Qur'an. I've mentioned it to us. Those that are training us, those our scholars that are righteous on the part of Qur'an and on the part of Sunnah to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are going to, as this scholar said, that their body will not be decayed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity so that we'll be among the righteous ones in the day of Qiyamah. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Conclusively, the body of Quran. That was what led to the discussion that we started last week. That happened in Sweden. That is Islamophobic act. Blasphemy. They have done that and they keep doing it. But body of Quran that happened recently, basically on the day of Eid al-Adha, in front of the masjid. I've forgotten the street name in Sweden. A lot of things had happened. A lot of places they have also burnt Quran after that incident, even till last week. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us? And I told us reason why. That we can burn Quran, but on what condition? If we can see that these papers of Quran will be desecrated, we ourselves, we can put it together, burn it, and preserve the ashes. We dug a ground as if we want to bury a dead body, and we bury it like that. I've done it several times. Instead of it littering around, you pack them together to protect the wordings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then, in those days, what they used to do because of the parchment, skin of animals that they used to use to write it, they would go and soak it inside water so that the water will wash away the ink, and they will not throw away the what? The parchment or the leather. But now it's being written on paper like this. There is nothing that can wash away this, my handwriting on this paper now. No. The only thing I can do is to tear it into pieces and burn it or bury it directly like that. And that was what Usman bin Affan did for the scriptures that was compiled during the time of whom? Abu Bakr. Now, those that are burning Quran now, what do we do for them? This is a challenge for we Muslims. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already told us in Surah Al-Imran, Quran chapter 3, verse 486. Allah said, La tubulawunna fi amwalikum wa anfusikum. They will be trying you in your wealth and among your children. They will be using your children to threaten you. They will be sending your children against you. Wa amwalikum. They will be threatening you with your wealth. Wala tasma'una min alladhina utul kitab. And you'll be hearing from those that we give other scriptures to, either the Nasara, the Christians, and the Jews. Min qablikum, those that were before you, that had already happened. Allah is referring to something that had happened in the past. And it's still happening now. Wa min alladhina ashraku, and those that are pagans. You know, Allah had mentioned Ahlul Kitab. Ahlul Kitab are the Christians because they have their scripture. Ahlul Kitab are the Jews because they have their scripture. Right? Wa min alladhina ashraku, and those that are idol worshippers. Allah said you will be experiencing what? Adhan. They will be threatening your life. Kathiran, multiple kind of threats, multiple kind of frustrations, multiple kind of what you didn't do that they will associate to you, they will attack to you, they will be frustrating you. Allah said you'll be experiencing all this. Wa in tasbiru, but if you become patient, wa tattaqu, and you are still conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fa inna dhalika min azmil umur. This is the best thing you can do that can make you attain the kingdom of Allah. That in the face of all these Islamophobic acts, in the face of all these travails, in the face of all these misconceptions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you can be patient, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will welcome you myself, because you have endured a lot that should grant you Al-Jannah. Allah said that. So, in the face of all these things that we are experiencing, what did Allah ask us to do? Is biru. Wasabiru. Warabitu. But are we being patient doesn't mean that we should not take action. What are the actions we are going to take? I can only mention 3. But before that, Allah now said in Quran chapter 6, verse 408, that's Surah Al-An'am. وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Allah said those that are not on the same path with you, that do not believe in Qur'an, do not believe in Jesus, they believe in Jesus Christ as the servant and prophet of Allah, and do not believe in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, those that do not have those beliefs, Allah said don't curse their God. If you know your grandfather or your father is an idol worshipper, he has Sango, he has Lata, Uzza, Manata, wa Ubal in his house, don't talk about their God. Allah said, wala tasubbu, don't curse their God. One big professor in this country, he doesn't have religion, and somebody that is worldly recognized, not in Africa, worldly recognized. Allah said you should not do what? You should not curse his God. We have some people, if they are going towards Qira'at, every year they have a day that they used to worship their water. You should not curse their water, because water is their God. They have their goddesses. Don't curse them. وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Those that are calling something other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah said don't curse them. If you do that, فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ الْعِلْمِ, they will curse your Allah. And if you do that, that means you have fomented trouble. And me, Allah will not back you. Efolo yale. Masu bauta ma gumaku, abasu su yi ci gaba, kaka zagi gumaku su. Abasu da Allah. Allah ya ce wai kar mu zage su. Fayasubullah adwan bigari ilmi. They don't have any knowledge about Allah before. They will now keep attacking your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will not be pleased with that. Kazalika zayyana li kulli ummatin amalahum. Allah said this is how we have designed for every generation, that this is what will continue to be happening. They will be desecrating our Quran. If this one goes down now, another country will do that one. If this one goes down, among our Muslims, a particular sect is in Islam called Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a wayward person. They call him as a wayward person. They call him as an harlot because he married Aisha at a very tender age. They name him, they call him Al-Saki, they call him Al-Majnun, different kind of name. Allah said, don't let your own go to that extent. So whoever amongst you that can be patient, Allah said, whatever you might have done in this world, I come and give you back the reward. So whatever you can do that will make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be pleased with you is what we should do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be pleased with us. Conclusively, on the Islamophobic acts of those that are burning Qur'an. Number one, what we can do is this that I'm doing, to talk. We should talk. We should write. Those that knows how to use pen among us should write. We should talk. The da'is, all the du'ats among us, our madams on their member, they should go against it without even carrying weapons. They should talk. Bring fatwas on what we should do. Number two, we can do protests. Islamically is allowed. A matured protest that will not lead to destroying people's property, that will not lead to killing people. We can go majestically and it must be registered with the authority before we do that. Number three, we can do social economic boycott. The country that is doing all this to our Islam, whatever is being produced from that country, we Muslims, we can go against it, we should not buy it. We kill them economically. These are the solutions that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has. When we were talking about the blasphemous act of that Samuel Deborah that happened in Usman Danfodio University last year, I explained all this in details. For like good 3 weeks, we are talking about that yet alone. And I spent 2 hours here to be discussing our issue. We don't have any right, solitary right, for any Muslim to raise his hand and kill anybody. We have a constituted authority that should take that course. If you don't have a Sharia court here in Lagos, you take it to another neighboring state. They should pass their fatwa. They are the one, the Qadi, the chief judge of the Sharia court, the Grand Qadi, is the only one. Is the only one that can declare that so person that has blasphemed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that has desecrated our holy scripture, so person should be eliminated from the earth. With the support of the Amirul Mu'minin. Our own Amirul Mu'minin in this country is the Sultan of Sokoto. Either you like it or not. The first person Allah we ask about Muslims in Nigeria today is Sultan of Sokoto. So the chief judge too of the country that will give that declaration must seek for the consent of whom? The Amirul Mu'minin. So all our brothers that are just killing everybody, killing innocent people, where did they see their hujjah? And Allah not let us fall into victim. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi. Yawa magana da muke ta yi tun sati da ya wuce akan Al-Qur'anic Karim. Mun yi magana ce Al-Qur'anic Karim magana Allah ne, ba wai abin da Allah ya halitta bane. Sai muka yi magana su Khawarij. This issue of this Khawarij and Mu'tazila, I've been on this issue. I want to discuss it almost 2 years now. And inshallah, I think time is coming. Because in this Quran, as I told us at the inception, there are some people that still did not believe in part of the Quran and we are praying Khamsu Salawat together. There is something we call An-Nasikhu wa Mansukh, abrogation. There are some verses in Quran that they were there before and today they were no more there. There were some verses in Quran that they were there today as we are reading it today. But the application of those conditions, they were no more in existence. That is what we call Nasikhu wa Mansukh. We are going to discuss them, inshallah, bi qudratullah. And those that are saying, La rajimu fil Islam, we can't stone somebody in Islam. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stone people, we have them. And those that started it, they were the Khawarij. From a Khawarij, transferred to the Mu'tazila. From the Mu'tazila, transferred to the Agladiyun. Down, and come to the other people. To, magana da muke ce da muka yi ko shine batun Qur'ani. Lokacin Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, mutane da suke lokacin su ne muke ce masu Mu'tazila. Akwai sarkin su shine Harun Rashid. Suna ta ce wai Qur'ani Allah ya halicce Qur'ani ne. Imam Ibn Hanbal, Ahmad ibn Hanbal ya ce wai ba halitta Allah bane. Allah, the Quran was not created. Ce kalamullah. Maganganu Allah ne da ya ruwaito da ya ba manzon sa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sai suka dauka Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal aje an kulle shi ya sa shi a cikin gidan yari. Ya yi shekara 2 da rabi. Kuma azumi ya kama shi a cikin azumin Ramadan. A cikin gurin yana ta dukansa, babban limami ba. Kamar mu diga yi magana su Abubakar Shehu Gumi. Ko mu yi magana su Sheikh Usman bin Dan Fodiyo. Ka san a cikin wani zamani Allah zai fitar da wani babban malami da yake ba wanda zai ba mai irin sunansa. Haka ne Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, the chief imam of Baghdad, lokacin da yana nan. Suka duke shi ba wai ba zai ce maku abin da kuke so ba. Abin da Allah yana so, abin da ya ruwaito ma manzon sa shine zai faɗi. Ke Al-Qur'an huwa kalamullah, maganganu Allah ne ba wai halitta Allah bane yadda Allah ya halicce mu. Magana da muka yi sati da wuce kenan. To, sai da kawo wani hadisi. Sai muka ce wai Allah ya ce wai yana da iyali. Ana akan kasa. Sai su sahabbai suka tambi manzon sa sallallahu alaihi wasallam ce, su waye ne iyalin Allah? Sai ya musu ce, to iyalin Allah sune ahlul Qur'ani wa khassatuhu. Sune wanda suna ta karanta Qur'ani. Suna ta aikatu da Qur'ani. Kuma su yarda da komai da yana Al-Qur'ani. Kuma sune Allah ya zabi a cikin duk wanda Allah ya halitta. So a cikin mu in kuma dukan mu ne in muna ta aiki da Al-Qur'ani, muna bin kaidodin Al-Qur'ani, muna ci, muna zama, muna bacci da Al-Qur'ani, mu ma muna cikin iyalin Allah. Na biyu kenan. Na uku, manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya ji mana duk iyaye da suka yi kokari sun ba da tarbiyyar Al-Qur'ani ma yaransu ranar kiyama. In yara Allah zai tayar da yaro din kafin ma ya tayar da shi, duk wanda ya haddace Qur'ani, duk wanda yana ta aiki da Al-Qur'ani a cikin kabarinsa ba duhu sai aske, kuma shi kadai ba zai zama a cikin kabarinsa ba. Duk lokaci akwai wani mutumi zai zo da sutura mai kyau, kuma ga fuskansa aske, yana da kyau gani sosai. Mutumin na gari na kwarai zai zo zai ta zama ya ta abokanci da wanda yana cikin kabari. Wannan mutumin a cikin kabari zai ce kai waye ne? Sai ya masa ce anna sahibuka al-Qur'ani fi dunya. Ne al-Qur'ani da kake karanta. Allah ya mayar da ni alita izo ziyace ka, kar kai kadai ka fita zama a cikin wannan kabari. So in kana so kai magana da wani gane abokinka. Ni ne na hana ka bacci a cikin dare, kana ta yin qiyamul layli, kana yin tahajjudi. A wajen yake kama kana ta karatu Qur'ani, ni gani abokinka. To, iyaye da suka ba yaran su tarbiyya, wai ranar kiyama, in yaro din ya yi aiki da Al-Qur'ani in zai shiga aljanna, Allah sai ya ce wai a ji a kawo iyayensa. Sai a ba iyayensa riga mai kyau, irin rigunan nan da ana sa ma yara in za su fita jami'a. Da iyaye za su je makaranta a je a yi walima, da zai sa wani hula haka. Sai su je, Allah zai ce wai a sa ma iyaye wani babban riga da aka dinka daga cikin aljanna. Yaro din ma shi ma ba shi crown, irin hula na su sarakuna din nan. A ba shi, sai iyaye sai su duka yi tambaya ce to, wani da yaki da muka yi da aka ba mu irin wannan daraja, a sa musu carpet. Daga inda za su taka zuwa shiga aljanna, sai su yi ta tambaya ce wani ne alheri ne muka yi da ya kawo mana wannan. Sai a gaya musu ce wai domin yaransu da suka haddace Qur'ani ne. Domin yaransu da suna ta aikata da Al-Qur'ani akan gaskiya. Karatu da muka yi sati da wuce kenan. Kuma sai na yi magana akan yadda wahayi yake zuwa ma manzo Allah. Wahayi yana zuwa kafa 7. Na karanta su yau. Akwai wansu yana zuwa cikin bacci in yayi mafarki. Akwai wansu in ya zauna haka za a kawo mashi wahayi. Akwai wayansu mala'ikatu Jibril zai zo a hoton wani sahabai da ana ce masa sunansa Ad-Da'iyatul Kalbi. Shi ne yana da kyau sosai a cikin sahabbai manzo Allah, al-Ansari ne. So manzo Allah ana kawo mashi sako da sura da hoton sahabin nan. Wani kuma in ya zauna kawai za a kawo mashi wahayi. ba zai san abin da yake faruwa tsakaninsa kuma ba. An tabi matarsa Aisha wata rana, yaya ne wa'ayi yake zuwa ma mijinki ne? Sai ta gaya mashi ce wai akwai wata rana da na gani an kawo mashi sako daga gurin Allah a cikin sanyi sosai, kun san irin sanyi arewa din nan, sanyi sosai, sai gashi kuma yana ta gudu. Wa'ayi ya zo kenan. Akwai wata sa'a na biyar, mala'ikatu Jibril zai zo a cikin yadda Allah ya halicce shi. Na gaya mana halittar mala'ikatu Jibril yana da feda, yana da guda 600 ne Allah ya bashi, 100 kwanan. In kuma ya spreading dishi haka, duk fuska, duk sky, ko? Ba za a ga komi kuma ba. Halittarsa da manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya gani shi, so biyu ne ka taba gan shi yadda Allah ya halicce shi. Bayan so biyu din nan sai dai zuwa wani hoto. Na biyar kenan. Na shida shine Allah ya yi magana da manzonsa a bayan ijabi. Allah ya ta magana da shi bayan ijabi. Shine hadisi kudisi. Ba mala'ika. Allah zai magana da shi amma ba zai ga Allah ba. Kamar akwai Allah nan baya ga manzonsa ga ijabi. Ba mala'ika. Shine hadisi al-kudisi. Irin shi ne na Allah da na Nabi na Musa. Allah bai tura mala'ika gurin Nabi na Musa. Yana magana tare da shi straight a Jabal Turi Sina. Na bakwai shine lokacin da yake gurin manzo Allah, da manzo Allah ya je gurin Allah a Mudratul Sintaha, lokacin da yake karbo sallar mu. Direct ne yi magana da Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Gashi ga Allah. Amma da yake gurin bai san ko safe bane, ko rana ne, ko yamma ne, ko dare ne, bai sani ba. Da yake guri bai san yadda zai gaya da Allah ba, sai ce attahiyatu lillah, duk gaisuwa, ina kwana, ina wuni, ina kirikan, duka na baka Allah. Domin bai san ko rana bane, ko safe bane, bai sani ba. Haka ne yi ta magana da Allah, ba kowa guri sai shi da Allah kawai. Duk wannan yana cikin suratul Najm. Fa kana qaba qausaini aw adna. Karatu da muka yi yau kenan. Kuma na yi magana akan wani bawa Allah cikin malaminmu babba da yake wai akwai wansu in an binne su jikinsu ba zai rube ba a cikin kabari. Amma na ce wannan ba magana Allah ba, kuma ba magana manzonsa ba. A cikin kokari malaminmu ne. Allah ya sa mu ma mu gama lafiya. Kuma na yi magana akan yadda aka tara Qur'ani. Kuma na yi magana akan abin da ana ce Qira'at. Mutane 10 ne muke bin Qira'at. Kamar na ce laqad ja'akum rasulun min anfusikum. Haka ne na cikin Qur'ani ko? Allah ya kawo mana wani babban manzo daga cikinmu. Ko? Zai iya ce laqad ja'akum rasulun min anfusikum. I can recite it like that. Qira'a ne. Anfusikum yana bayanin sa ne ce wai wanda ya fi sada a cikinku. Laqad ja'akum rasulun min anfusikum. Moti shawala tare ni. Na kawo manzo daga cikinku. Laqad ja'akum rasulun min anfusikum. Kuma duka ina karanta daidai ne. Amma anfusikum wa anfasikum. Kamar maliki yawmiddin. Ko zai iya ce malaka yawmiddin. Karatu ne. Kuma duka ya shiga. So na yi magana akan Qira'at, kuma akan riwayat, akan tariku wa wajihu, yanda aka fara karanta Qur'ani duka muka yi bayani. Allah ya samu gama lafiya. Inna la ya'muru bil adli wal ihsan wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar wal baghi ya'idukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Allah ya fi mu lokaci ya riga ya wuce. Allah ya samu dace. Amen. This is going to be a concluding part of the discussion we started discussing concerning the Quran and the Islamophobic act that some people in the Western world have been perpetrating time without number. And they will continue to be doing it. It will never stop. Al-Qiyamah. That is why I brought you those 2 verses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already prepared our mind. So not until we start burning people's houses, we start doing this, that we'll be fighting for Islam. Let's use our brain to fight our enemies. Let's go and know more about Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us and strengthen us in Iman, with good health and good wealth, and let us end well at the appropriate time. Inshallah, next week, we are going to talk about the Hijri calendar. Because this Hijra that we are shouting, what is Hijra? Today is the 3rd day of Muharram, right? What is Hijrah? What led to the Hijrah? And all these names, Muharram, Rabiul Awwal, Rabiul Sani, how did they emanated? How did they get their name? Where did they emanated from? Because these names have been already existing before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was even given birth to. But the calendar was not in existence. So how did they come about? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spare our life. Allahumma izal Islam wal Muslimin. Wa zilla shirka wal mushrikeen. Damir adaka ada ad-din. Mansur ibadaka al-muwahidin bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Our country, Nigeria, may Allah continue to give us more perseverance and endurance. This our economy is somehow. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to give us perseverance and endurance and more patience. Let's continue to be praying for our leaders. Don't cause them. The more you are causing them, the more they are going out of the way. Let's be asking for their hidayah wa murshid, wa irshad. That is what the best thing we should be doing. You want better for Tinubu, you want better for this. The one you caused yesterday, is there in the order that is enjoying his life? And if you enjoy it, he's going to die. All the things you will not benefit, he will benefit till we die. So also, if they remove Tinubu today, something he will continue enjoying something, he's going to die. He was a president. He was a president. But your name is not there. Stop causing leaders. Even your ordinary councillor that is not useful in your ward. Because the majority of them are not useful. We know, but we will not say it. We know, including our senators. As soon as you voted them in, you will never see them in their constituency. The only way you'll be hearing them is in Abuja. There are some of them within the 4 years, they will never propose any bill. They just be there sitting down with the polygon and drinking tea and taking allowances. Don't cause them. Let's continue to be telling Allah to guide them. Their own accountability, they will face Allah squarely. Let's continue to be. The more we are praying, we are causing them, the more they will be taking the decision that will be going against us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better our economy for us. May Allah better our economy for us. We are hoping, I'm very optimistic that Nigeria will be better than that of yesterday. And our own children will enjoy more than us. But we have to pass through a kind of state of pains now. If they are not telling us political jargons, we believe that it will be better. Inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let everything come in tranquility for us. Amen. Our security brothers, may Allah continue to be protecting you. Amen. Every one of us with our various designations, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be protecting us and give us the wisdom to take the best decision. Wherever they are plotting evil against us, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always put them to shame. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.